There are a number of religious extremists who believe that having money is at odds with the will of God, and that if people want to get into heaven, they should steer clear of possessing money. According to them, the only way to obtain heavenly rewards is to lead a life that is devoid of any desire for material possessions, particularly money, and to live a life of humility. But the Holy Bible is filled with examples of people who were blessed by God with wealth, which includes both material and spiritual success. These examples may be found throughout the Bible. Therefore, before you begin to question your capacity to become wealthy or you begin to feel guilty about your possessions in this world, let us take a look at the Bible and examine some examples of people who are blessed with wealth. Investigate the 6 richest and most prosperous individuals in the Bible. Number 1. Abraham. According to James 2 verse 23, Abraham is regarded as the founding father of the church and is referred to as God's buddy. Within the context of Genesis 13 verse 2, Abraham is described as possessing wealth consisting of livestock, silver, and gold. Having such material belongings at the time is comparable to being the owner of a company that is worth several billions of dollars. As Abraham continued to demonstrate his trust in the Lord on a consistent basis, his wealth continued to grow. In accordance with the verse found in Genesis 24 verse 1, God continued to bless him in a multifaceted manner. According to Genesis 13 verse 6, Abraham continued to amass money until the point where their land could no longer provide for the two of them. As a result, he was compelled to part ways with his nephew Lot. A fact that is even more remarkable is the fact that everyone who was connected to Abraham was given material wealth. Number 2. Isaac. A wealthy inheritance was also bestowed upon Isaac, who was Abraham's son. Abraham continued to enjoy a happy life in spite of the famine that was occurring. The book of Genesis chapter 26 verse 12 describes how Isaac was able to grow and harvest 100 times more than other people. It was because of his riches that the Philistines were so envious of him that he was eventually forced to leave his native land. The passage in Genesis 26 verses 17 to 32 asserts that despite the unpredictability of his journeys, Isaac continued to receive benefits wherever he went. Number 3. Job. Job was described as a righteous man in the first verse of the book of Job in the Old Testament. Furthermore, Job 1 verse 3 states that he is the most renowned individual in the eastern region due to the vast amount of material wealth that he possesses. In spite of the difficulties he was experiencing in his personal life, Job had an unwavering commitment to God. Job is rewarded with riches that are greater than anything he had previously possessed. This is due to the fact that he was able to keep his faith in spite of the various challenges he faced throughout his life. Number 4. Solomon. Solomon is the only biblical figure who is most commonly associated with wealth and wealth in general. Solomon is revered not only as a wise monarch but also as a man who amassed a significant deal of wealth in the world. It is written in 2 Chronicles 9 verse 20 that he had such a large quantity of gold that the value of silver was drastically reduced. Due to the legendary wealth that he possessed, people are still looking for his hidden treasures in the present day. It is because of his richness that several expeditions have been dispatched to search for his treasures. His wealth has been a source of inspiration for storytellers. The Crusaders are said to have brought Solomon's treasures with them when they traveled to the Holy Land, according to a tradition. There are also tales that the family of the legendary Templar Knights has found the treasures, buried them, and put them under guard since they were discovered. Number 5. David. In the historic fight between David and Goliath, in which a little boy armed with a slingshot overcame the monster, David is sometimes compared to Goliath. David, however, was able to enjoy a rich life simply because he had confidence in God, just like Solomon. A comprehensive account of his wealth can be found in the book of Psalms. Psalm 37 verse 19 contains the assurance that those who are good will continue to flourish even when they are in the midst of severe famine. This was something that David and his brothers went through firsthand. David enjoyed a happy life, was endowed with wealth and honor, and passed away after having lived a life full of contentment, as stated in 1 Chronicles 29 verse 28. David's entire life was filled with joy and fulfillment. Number 6. Joseph. Envy consumed Joseph, a wealthy man who was not the father of Jesus. Joseph was a victim of envy. He had a modest manner despite the fact that he was wealthy. After reaching the age of 30, he was promoted to the position of second in command of Egypt. There is a verse in Genesis 47 verse 14 that claims that he became wealthy from the sale of wheat. Joseph was able to look to the future and maintain his nation because he had a decent understanding of economics in addition to his ability to become successful in business. These heroes from the Bible were wealthy, but despite the difficulties and issues they faced, they remained faithful to their God. A prosperous existence was theirs, and they continued to be blessed right up until the very end of their lives. Before you get to the conclusion that money is the foundation of all evil, you should reconsider this statement. Are there any other wealthy people mentioned in the Bible that you are aware of? Kindly let us know in the comments section.